Hey guys, Radishboy here, reading RuneScape updates so you don't have to for November 5th, 2020. The respawn rate of Revenants has been increased for Leagues 2. The protection period will now only activate when you pay the entry fee for the first time. The amount of ether dropped by Revenants has been doubled. The new Wilderness Slayer Cave now has its own audio track you can unlock by exploring it. There's also some of the mods are talking about how successful League has been, and that's pretty cool. Leagues 2 Trailblazer hotfixes. As with many major releases, we've had to tackle a fair few issues in the first days of Leagues 2. Here are the ones we've sorted out so far. The Protection Master Relic now works when fletching javelin shafts and firing pottery. Fluid Strikes will now only apply its damage reduction effect if the damage you have taken was less than your current HP. See here for more information. The following tasks are now completable. Restore X prayer points, which now checks for your prayer points instead of your prayer level. Steal a chocolate slice, which now works in both Ardoin and Keldagrim. Enter your player-owned house. Chop a Silicet cap on Fossil Island. Complete Rune Mysteries, which now auto-completes upon unlocking Kandarin as intended. You can now obtain a second Draymond Staff from the League Tutor. Herbs are now always added to the herb sack if it is open. Players who lost their Bar Crawl card now find the Asgarnia pubs now correctly marked off. The Double Cast Relic now saves runes in the Alchemy Room of the Magic Training Arena. In addition, the following fixes will go live in this week's update. A typo has been fixed in the description of Equilibrium Relic. Gout Tuber is now spelled correctly on Tasks interface. The hard task Defeat Vorkath on Ungul in 2 minutes or less now has the correct task name. The Pickpocket a Bandit in the Kandarin Desert task. It now specifies that the bandit must be in the Desert Bandit camp. Lesser Demons in the Wilderness will now count towards the Defeat a Lesser Demon task. Various runecraft tasks now specify that the runes must be crafted at their respective altars. The Fill a Large Pouch with Essence and Fill a Giant Pouch with Essence tasks are now marked as general, as they do not require the Wilderness to complete. The description of the Production Master Relic has been modified to specify that it only works on glass blowing, not smelting glass. Added the second inventory model to the League Tutor. Fixed a typo in Thessiel's haircut dialogue on League Worlds. Clue hunters will no longer receive steps in Korend and Kebos. That's amazing. The Asgarnia drop section of the area's interface now correctly states that it affects Dragon Defenders. Production Master will now correctly apply when firing pottery. Your kill count at the God Wars dungeon can no longer be reduced by any means while playing on League Worlds. Teleporting out of an instanced or non-instanced God Wars dungeon boss room with last recall will now teleport the player outside of the boss room when they use the Crystal of Memories. The Make a Potion with an Amulet of Chemistry task now completes when a 4-dose potion is made with the Botanist Relic. This same task has been renamed Make a 4-dose Potion. The task to complete Enkar's Lament is now completable. If you have completed the quest and not yet received points for this task, opening the task interface will mark the task as done. The Kandarin task Catch 50 Red Chinchampas will now work on red Chinchampas across Kandarin, not just the ones in the private hunter area. Getting more than 199 or achieving 25 million XP in 2 or more skills at the same time will now correctly complete both associated tasks instead of just one of them. If you experience this issue, opening your task interface will complete the task you missed. Slayer enchantments now have a chance to drop on League Worlds while doing a Wilderness Slayer task. This is not affected by the league's drop rate modifier. Fixed an issue where the reach level 5 in any role at Barbarian Assault and reach level 5 in all roles at Barbarian Assault task could not be completed. If you have done these tasks and not received points, open your task interface. The task Smith 1000 Adamant Dart Tips is now tracking your progress correctly. Fixed an issue where adding a jar to the POH display case was not completing the appropriate league task. Players with a jar already active in their POH will now need to remove and re-add it in order for the task to be completed. Additional pay dirt from Motherlode Mine generated by the Endless Harvest relic will no longer always be coal. Tasks to cook fish, smelt bars, or burn logs will now correctly track progress when the effects of the Trailblazer Harpoon, Trailblazer Axe, Trailblazer Pickaxe, or any standard infernal tools are triggered. The Botanist will now correctly make 4-dose Reclisium Balm with a chance to save its secondary ingredient. You can now catch multiple items at once with a big net. After all, there's plenty of room in there. Gotta love Drag-X humor. The Dark Bow will now work with exploding attacks. Only the first successful hit will trigger the effect. If you hit twice, it won't proc. The scoreboards for the Gauntlet, the Nightmare, and the Theater of Blood best times in League Worlds no longer impact regular worlds. The scoreboards will be reset at some point after the game update. If your personal best is better than the global time, it will be overwritten, so that really good times don't have to be reobtained. Teleporting out of temple trekking will re-enable the Endless Harvest Relics effect. Ava's device and the ranged skill cape will now correctly stack the ammo saving effects of the quick shot relic, resulting in a 98% ammo saving bonus. The task Defeat an Aberrant Spectre in Kandarin has been replaced with Defeat a Fire Giant in Kandarin, as the former was incompletable with any given combination of areas. As of Tuesday, Godsword shards will now correctly drop from the God Wars General's bodyguards and will be affected by the league's drop rate modifier. Fluid Strikes will now only provide 15% damage reduction if the hit would no longer kill you. In addition, we're opening up 13 more League Worlds this week to lessen crowding during peak times and general world lag. The worlds are 539 through 543 US, 548 through 551 Germany, 558 through 561 UK. We're also designating 5 existing worlds as group minigames to help minigamers find others to play with. 402, 405, 407, 409, and 112. This means that each region now has one world dedicated to minigames. This doesn't change the world itself or mean that minigames can only be played in these worlds. It's purely to try and bring players interested in the same activity together. Trailblazer League rankings. Here are the point thresholds for each rank in the Trailblazer League as the time of this update. Dragon is 16,890, Rune 11,000, Adamant 5,750, Mithril 3,130, Steel 1,440, Iron 520, Bronze 100. In other news, the Halloween event will be removed next Wednesday, November 11th. If you're yet to complete it, find Rick in the woods near the Wizard Tower to get started. We know you're eagerly awaiting the changes from Pole 73 game improvements to go live. With the incredible response we've had so far from Trailblazers League, the changes from Pole 73 have been somewhat delayed. Rest assured, you can expect to see these things being released over the next few weeks of game updates. Thank you guys so much for watching this. Have a great day.